Okay, so far we've talked about how a river can erode into a cliff and cause that cliff to collapse as mass wasting. But we haven't said much about ocean waves. So, ocean waves, as they come up onto the shore, they will be pounding on the coastline. And if they pound on a cliff, eventually that cliff is going to be undercut and then it's going to topple down. So, one way that they can protect a shoreline is by putting big blocks of concrete next to this cliff. And so I hadn't heard of this word before, but it was called rip wrap. And these big blocks of concrete are designed just to absorb the impacts of the waves on it. And so if they're the things that are being pounded on, then that means that the cliff is not being pounded on, and it's going to save that cliff from collapse. Okay, another thing is to build a retaining wall. So again, this happens a lot here in Missouri, where you have cliffs, a road cuts through a mountain face, and there's a high likelihood that material is going to fall down onto the road. So what they do is they just build a wall next to the cliff. And so the idea is that material will fall, but it's going to fall behind that wall, and that's going to protect the cars. And then another thing that you can do is secure the rocks in place. So here, notice that you've got rocks and there are joints in between the rocks. So that is a prime candidate for rock material to fall if it's got joints in it like that. So you can see in the picture that what they did was they took some pins and they drilled it into the rock face to hold those joints together so that they're less likely to fall. So that's another thing that can be done. And then here's a picture of what can be done by covering up something, so that you have your some kind of a roof over the top of a road. So then if an avalanche occurs, it's going to cover up this roof thing, but it's not going to get down to where the car is located at. Okay, let's take a break. When we come back, we will start our lesson quiz.